Welcome back to the Spartan Sports Podcast. My name is Thomas Chavez, and today I am joined by
Alex Mayer,
Carter Fry,
Tyler Castillo,
and Giggity Gang, Zachary Lockerman. Nice to see everyone today.
How is everyone doing on this fine Thursday afternoon?
It's opening day.
Not digging the weather, but it's all right.
It's opening day.
Very, very caffeinated right now.
Yeah,
Tyler looks like he's got some stuff to say.
Tyler had
ready.
3 coffees today, so he's.
I have a lot of caffeine in my.
Yeah, one of those nitro.
In my veins right now.
Yeah, he had one of those nitro cold brews and a few Cuban coffees.
I actually have a cold brew right here, so yeah, like.
All right, so Final Four, March Madness. March is over now. I don't understand why. I've never understood why March Madness didn't start at the beginning of March and end at the end of March. That always confused me. But anyway, so it's the Final Four. We got Gonzaga, Baylor, UCLA, and Houston. How are we looking at the Final Four and March Madness as a whole so far this year, boys?
Can I just say before we get started that if you think about it, if we had beaten UCLA, this could be us. This could be us.
That was one of the points I was gonna.
We would have lost to Abilene Christian. We would have turned the ball over 30 times against Abilene Christian. Guarantee it.
Just saying, it could have been us. That's all I'm saying.
I have a lot of information to let go. So if anybody wants to go before me, feel free because I'm gonna.
Let's start off with Alex.
Okay. So just looking at the Final Four, you got to look at Baylor and Gonzaga and say that they're obviously the 2 best teams. And going into making all of our brackets, that's probably was the consensus too. And now it's coming into fruition in the Final Four. No,
I took Houston.
Houston is your champion?
I had them as my champion when we had our episode about this at the beginning. I took Houston.
Oh, okay.
Off a whim, but I took
still not
Houston.
a bad pick. They're in the Final Four, but they're going up against a really tough Baylor team who shoots from behind the arc at such an amazing clip, 41%, and they run through Davion Mitchell, who plays some of the best defense I've ever seen, some of the best all-around game I've ever seen. He's like the Aaron Henry of the Big 12 out there, but just a better version of Aaron Henry, but the Big 12 version. Shoots 52% from the field. The dude is an absolute beast. Baylor is a really well-coached squad, but I think this will be the better game of the 2. Houston is a really good matchup for them. They run through Giroux and Quentin Grimes, who are scoring 10 points and 18 points per game, respectively. They've had a pretty easy run to the Final Four, I may say. I think all 3 or 4 of their opponents were double-digit seeds.
First team in the tournament to play only double-digit seeds to make it to the Final Four.
There you go. Thank you, Tyler.
Their 3-point defense has been quite spectacular this year.
And they crashed the offensive boards like one of the best teams in the country at crashing the offensive boards, and that's where they get a large majority of their offense. And that they don't really have a dominant big man that helps them out in that category. So that what makes them so versatile. So I got Baylor in this one, but I do expect this one to be a close and competitive game.
For sure. I thought that Houston was going to lose in the second round, which they almost did to Rutgers. I had Rutgers going at least to the Sweet 16. Baylor, I've been high on them since the beginning. I had probably either them or Illinois in most of my brackets. And yeah, they have 3 guards that score over 14 points a game. Just absolutely monster defense from the whole team, especially Mitchell there, like Alex was talking about. Houston, I don't have that much confidence in them. I think Baylor should be able to handle them pretty easily, but obviously anything can happen in March Madness. And then on the other side, Gonzaga, they look absolutely unstoppable right now. If I'm being honest, I really don't see another team winning the tournament. Like it's Timmy time. He looks really good. UCLA, as crazy of a Cinderella run as they've had, I think it comes to an end against the Gonzaga Bulldogs. So we'll just see how this weekend plays out. Hopefully we'll get some good games and shaping up to be a good Final Four.
Can we just take a second? In that Michigan versus UCLA game, in the final seconds, why are you having Smith, your point guard, who shot like 0 for 7 from the 1 for 7 from the field that game, taking the final shot. Why are you letting him get that?
And why are you also letting Franz Wagner take the final shots, who was 1 for 9 the entire game, was brick after brick, and he's the one taking the final shots for your team? That
Guys,
was
I would have given it to Eli Brooks, honestly.
the real question is, why are they not feeding Hunter Dickinson? Like the
That's-
best player on the court. Like
Yeah, he was the inbounder on that last play too. That made no sense.
It seems like in this tournament, we've seen a lot of teams when they're down 2, they still go for the 3. They look to get the win right then and there. They're not trying to get the easier 2 for the tie. I mean, you're down 49-51, right, at the end there? Yeah, I personally would have tried to go for a 2, and then they obviously took 2 threes, so I don't know what they were doing.
Michigan and Michigan State lost essentially in the same way by taking stupid shots, like at
and
the end
Ohio
of
State.
at the end of the game. Like, I don't know, it's weird.
Yeah,
Ohio-
that's how Michigan got taken out, was because they didn't feed Dickinson.
Yeah.
Good work, guys.
Anybody else want to add anything before I go on my little?
Oh, I just want to say, I like Houston. I know you guys are saying that they're going to have a hard time against Baylor. I like their defense. I think they play a really suffocating kind of defense that's going to definitely make it more of it's not going to be a shootout. It's going to be a grit and grind kind of game when Houston's involved. And, just obviously the way they play offense is not beautiful at all. They just chuck up threes and get the rebounds. But I think they have a chance if they're able to play good defense on Baylor. So I'm sticking with my call that I had at the beginning. Tyler, I know that you spent so much time doing this research, so I'm gonna let you go for it.
All right, so I just want to say, obviously, all 4 of these teams are very valid. They're in the Final Four, right? That's a huge accomplishment. I was wrong on Baylor. I said I thought they were a fraud 1 seed. They're obviously not. Davion Mitchell is a hooper. I was wrong on Houston. I thought they would get bounced early. They're here, obviously, even though they kind of had a Mickey Mouse path to the Final Four, but we won't talk about that. UCLA is valid.
Who cares about that Mickey Mouse run? That's what this is.
Which, by the way, I'm kind of right. I'm going to say I'm kind of right on UCLA because I said if MSU won that game that they would make it all the way. But guess what? This could be UCLA instead. Just, anyways, Gonzaga is probably going to win. They're obviously the favorite. Baylor is the next. And then, I don't know, it's kind of a toss-up between Houston and UCLA. But it's March. Don't give up on any of these teams. Fun fact, UCLA has 11 titles in total. The rest of the 3 teams combined have 0. So that's interesting. I don't know. Gonzaga is looking to be the first undefeated since the 75-76 Indiana Hoosiers. So that's a possibility. That'll be history. And the next closest team was Kentucky in 2015 when they lost to Wisconsin. Anyways, going to break down these teams individually. Alex already kind of touched on what I was going to say about Baylor. They lead the nation in 3-point shooting, which is ridiculous. They're shooting 41% from the 3. Davion Mitchell and Donovan Mitchell, it's just really weird to me how they wear the same
Both
number.
wear 45, yeah.
Are they
same
related?
last name, and they're not related.
Oh.
So that's really weird to me.
I'm a fool.
It'll be interesting to see if Houston can beat real competition. Obviously
Hey,
everybody
now.
everybody in the tourney is real competition, but it's like I don't think they've really played a team like Baylor yet. So we'll see.
Don't hate on Syracuse, man.
UCLA
Give
has
it their
been
all.
hooping. Johnny Juzang and Hami Hakas are ballers, and I think that we definitely realize that in the tourney because Hami Hakas lit us up as in Michigan State, and then Johnny Juzang's been running through every team he's been put up against. So I don't know. We'll see. But can they beat the Zags? Because obviously we know Gonzaga is a different breed this year, and they're probably going to go undefeated. So that's all the research I did. But, yeah, hopefully that was entertaining, at least somewhat.
Oh, it was great. I think you did a great job.
Thank you.
Coffee works wonders, I'd say.
I guess so.
And may I just add, this year we are guaranteed to see a new coach win a title for the first time.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah,
I'd also add that Tyler mentioned that the Zags are trying to become the first undefeated team since the 76 Hoosiers. That was also the last time that Duke and Kentucky both missed the tournament.
Really?
Yeah, so it could be destiny
Wow.
for Gonzaga. Mark Few.
But
Mark.
Timeout. Gonzaga, I think, are a bunch of frauds still. Like they always. No, not the team this year. I'm just saying Gonzaga in general always make it to like the Final Four, the national championship, and then find a way to choke. But
That's it. It is like that. They're
their
always
team
they're
is
always talked
different
about.
this year.
I was
so,
coming
like,
out with some actual research, then all of a sudden he swerves left and is like, "Oh, hot take."
I thought he was going to like come at wherever Gonzaga's located. I thought he was going to come at the city again, so I was just a little nervous there for a second. But no, and I was going to say before we move on from the college basketball, I just wanted to give a round of applause. North Carolina head coach Roy Williams is retiring.
Oh yeah, of course.
Shout out Roy Williams.
Legend.
The meme king, he's taking it. The dance meme king is taking a step back. So congratulations to him.
It'll be interesting to see who they bring in to replace him. I heard some rumors about Brad Stevens possibly going there.
I'm available.
They said Brad Stevens was going to Indiana too. But
hire Zach.
Yeah, hire me. Listen, I need some help, and I might be able to.
When I saw that this morning, I thought it was an April Fool's Day joke because all the sports headlines I've been seeing today are all false. It seems April Fool's Day is just an excuse to lie on social media.
Like
Carter,
George Kittle telling people he was going to Duval.
Carter, I saw your tweet that said that like April Fool's Day is like fake news day on Twitter.
It is. All I've been seeing today is fake headlines trying to scare people.
Just how it is.
Yeah, and the worst part is they always get you. The first one always gets you. And you're like, what? What?
And then you remember.
Yeah, then it clicks. Then you see the first April Fool's Day, and you're like, what on earth? Yeah, it definitely catches you off guard.
Yeah. All right, so that's March Madness. Sticking with the NCAA, but also transitioning to some NFL stuff. College quarterbacks entering the NFL draft.
We got your Trevor Lawrences,
your Justin Fields,
your Mac Joneses,
Zach Wilson's of the world.
There's more than one?
Yes, there's plural, as in
multiple. I mean, I'm sure there are multiple Mac Joneses somewhere. I'm sure somewhere else.
One of them is in the NFL draft.
I'd be willing to bet that. I'd be willing to bet that one of them is a truck driver.
I think we're referencing their talents, not their names.
Oh, I thought we were talking about the names.
This is a terrible unplanned joke. I'm going to move us forward now.
Okay.
All right. So obviously, there's a lot of debate on whether certain quarterbacks are going to make it in the NFL. Obviously, Trevor Lawrence is not really up for debate. People are pretty set on him being an Andrew Luck style of quarterback. But there are a couple of other quarterbacks in the league. I have a couple that I've been looking at. So I just wanted to hear from you guys first, who you guys are thinking about when you're looking at quarterbacks in this draft.
I would like to start out by saying that so I know it's not going to happen, but I can dream. And how happy it would make me for Zach Wilson to somehow fall to the Steelers at like 24.
That's not happening. He's going number 2.
I know it'll never happen, but the fact that he was not discussed at all, like he wasn't even like the top. It was Lawrence, Fields, Lance, and then you heard some people say Mac Jones, right? That was what it was for a while. That's what I heard.
For a while, yeah.
And then all of a sudden, Zach Wilson's stock started to rise, and he had that incredible pro day, and you're like, oh man, this guy's good. And now it's like people are like, well, he might go before Fields. So I mean, you got to feel great for the kid, right? Because obviously there was that consensus that the number 2 guy was Fields, and now it's like, well, we're looking at the top 10 picks here, and all 4 of these guys might be gone. So it's definitely going to be an exciting draft as far as quarterbacks are concerned. I think that each one of these guys is special in their own way. And so that'll be interesting to watch. I mean, in 10 years, you could be talking about this being one of the best quarterback classes ever. So, I mean,
that's true.
While we're talking about Zach Wilson, I do have a little bit of a hot take, but it's one that I take very seriously. I honestly think that Zach Wilson has the potential to be the number 1 quarterback, not like take number 1, because that's obviously going to be Trevor Lawrence. But when we look back on this draft class, I think Zach Wilson has the potential to be the top quarterback that we talk about.
I mean,
he's a beast,
dude. All you gotta do is look at that throw he made, and
that was Aaron Rodgers-esque.
Like that was some crazy, that was a throw.
When you watch him play, he has like a very one of the best understandings of defensive schemes that I've seen coming from a college quarterback. He knows exactly how to attack cover 3, cover 2. He knows how to diagnose it. He knows how to leverage against it. He's more than Trevor Lawrence, he has a really great pocket presence. He has not necessarily that Russell Wilson quality where he's able to just like squirm everywhere, but he has he has pocket mobility is what I would say. He has a great knack for avoiding the pass rush. And I don't know, he's got a good arm. He's accurate. I really like his game, and I think that he has what it takes to potentially be the best quarterback in this draft class.
I mean, I agree. He's
For
the
sure.
quarterback. He's the quarterback which I look at and I'm like, I like that guy. Like,
Yeah.
I'm like hot take, but for whatever reason, whenever I've seen Trevor Lawrence play or like I watch him, even when I saw, because you guys remember this, we were talking about he had thrown some balls not too long ago. I forget what it was for though. And I was like, when I see the ball come out of his hands, I don't see anything that is impressive to me. But when I saw that throw from Zach Wilson at his pro day, I was like, that's what I like to see. Like that's the kind of thing that you saw from Patty Mahomes. Not saying he's going to beat Patty Mahomes, but it was like the ball come out of his hand was more similar to that than what I see from like when Trevor Lawrence throws. I think Trevor Lawrence is. I think he'll be good. I just don't think he's going to be as good as everyone thinks he is. I don't even think he's going to be the best quarterback from this draft.
I think Lawrence has a high floor. He probably has the highest floor of any quarterback in
Yeah,
this draft
for
class,
sure.
but I don't know if his ceiling is quite as high as Zach Wilson's.
Yeah, I think that Trevor Lawrence is going to come out and be good right away. I don't think that there's any, but I just have issues. He's a tall guy. I think he's like 6'6". He weighs in at 220. I mean, that is a big frame for like a small. He doesn't weigh a lot, and so he's kind of a slender kid. I mean, you look at him, and obviously he's fit, but he doesn't have like the big bodied frame like Andrew Luck did, who was shorter and weighed like 20 pounds more than him.
Also historically, like I know that 6'6" quarterbacks have like not done well in the league. Like there's not that many 6'6" quarterbacks that have done that great in the league. I'm almost positive, at least, because I was listening to another podcast that was talking exactly about like he's 6'6". I don't know what it is about 6'6" quarterbacks, but
they're taller, so you got to think. I mean, you got people coming off the edge. Maybe they slip and fall. Your knees are sort of more at a level where like they may be hit easier. I mean, that's just what I mean. He just looks like a kid that could be injured easily. And maybe I'm completely wrong in making that assumption, but he just doesn't look like he's built for tough. You know, he looks like he may be a lemon. You know what I'm saying? So
he's like the little Tykes things, you know, like the little car thing you get in and then you like push the kid in it, you know.
Yeah, like he just like
feet are hanging.
I mean, like what is going to happen when Khalil Mack comes off the edge and smacks this kid and he's 120 pounds and he flies 6 feet? I'm concerned about it.
Well, I mean, part of the problem though with those big quarterbacks is most of them rely mostly on their size and arm strength to, that works at the college level. They don't really have to develop any other part of their game. Trevor Lawrence obviously has a very well developed game. He's a smart quarterback. He can go through his progressions. He doesn't stare down his receivers at all. I mean, he knows how to play the quarterback at the NFL level. I don't think he's going to have a problem adjusting to the NFL. I think he's the most NFL ready quarterback of anyone in this draft class. You can put him in the starting lineup and he'll probably be better than like 5 other quarterbacks in the league.
Also,
I think he'll be better than 5.
He's no pushover either. Like he's not a pussy or anything. Like he can accept contact. Like he's ran the ball.
Tyler, I don't have the ability to bleed. Thank you.
Yeah. So let me just say this. Like I do think that out of all the quarterbacks, I think that Trevor Lawrence comes in and he's good right away. I think he comes in and is probably a top 20, top 15 quarterback in the league. So I'm not doubting his talent or ability. I'm just doubting the athletes and the physicality at the next level is completely different than what he may have faced at Clemson. And I'm just concerned that like when he is faced against these guys, because Trevor Lawrence isn't the most athletic, but if you watch him play, I mean, there's a lot of times where he's faster than the defenders that are chasing him. That's gone now, big boy. You're gonna have linebackers shooting off the edge that are faster than him.
I'm just deceptively fast.
You
he's
made him
faster than you think.
No,
he has really long strides. That's what helps him.
Now,
I agree with Zach that he's probably the most NFL ready guy at the moment, but I think there are some other guys that have more potential.
Now, do you think Trevor Lawrence puts up like Justin Herbert type numbers year one? Because Justin Herbert, I would say, was someone that was somewhat overlooked. I mean, he was the 3rd best quarterback consensus in the last year's draft, and he comes into this year and he performs like the number 1 quarterback.
I feel like
was,
Zach
Rookie of the
Wilson.
Year.
I feel like Zach Wilson would be more of a Justin Herbert look.
Yeah, because I
I
mean,
think Zach Wilson would be closer in line with Baker Mayfield than he
Well,
would
well,
be with.
Well,
Justin
I'm not
Herbert.
saying like physique.
I'm talking about like rookie season. I think he'd have more of a Baker
yeah,
Mayfield type rookie season.
Baker Mayfield had a great rookie season. Let's make no mistake about it. And also,
Yeah.
we have the answer to the question really relies on where he goes. I know there's been some reports that he doesn't want to be drafted by Jacksonville. Like he does not want to go number 1 overall unless someone else trades up. If he ends up in Jacksonville, I highly doubt he'll have those Justin Herbert numbers because, I mean, first of all, can you even name an offensive lineman in Jacksonville?
Wait,
And,
who are we
Brad
talking
Robinson.
Trevor Lawrence.
about? Oh, I was talking about Zach Wilson.
Oh no, because he asked Trevor Lawrence, "Do you think he'll put up Justin Herbert numbers?" And
Oh,
I'm saying
right,
that,
okay.
And I'm saying that whether or not he does, because he could, it's
Oh, yeah.
very possible, but like not with Jacksonville. Well, if he goes to Jacksonville, it's probably going to end up being a situation where he has to methodically move that offense down the field because I'm not so sure that they have the structure yet to maybe protect him for a long period of time. They probably don't really have a running game at this point in time. I think they have like one wide receiver, do they not?
Jacksonville definitely has a running game.
They have TJ Yeldon?
Jacksonville is deceptively
No,
like
they have James
James
Robinson.
Robinson.
He
they
went
were
off this
actively
year.
tanking last year. That like they're not as bad as like they actually
Was
were.
he a rookie, right? Was he a rookie?
Yeah, and he popped
Yeah.
off too.
Yeah, he was one of the rookies that like sort of surprised people. So I do remember that. I thought it was TJ Yeldon for some.
No, TJ.
No, he's long gone.
Yeah, listen. That's sort of the point. Obviously, Jacksonville has the number 1 pick for a reason. So
Well, they were tanking.
yeah,
I mean,
but
you're starting the Glenster over Gardner Minshew. You're not trying to win.
But listen, I mean, you're still looking at it. I mean, so
The
they had a
Glenster.
tanking team had a good running game. Okay, what does that really mean at the end of the day? Now they have Trevor Lawrence, and I mean, it's like who's like I just don't see. I don't think Jacksonville has the sort of the structure in place to allow him to put up 350 yards a game like Justin Herbert did.
I mean, they brought
No.
in Marvin Jones. They brought in quite a couple of
I-
pieces.
listen,
to
I-
go with.
I think
know-
you're selling Jacksonville short, and that you might be not doing that intentionally. I don't think you realize how many pieces they actually have put together.
Listen, if Marvin Jones is your argument for that he's going to have weapons, then the argument's over. 'Cause
DJ
Marvin
I didn't
Chark?
say weapons.
Don't they have
I said
Chark still?
pieces. Yeah, they still have DJ
listen,
Chark.
Yeah,
he's not-
DJ
Marvin
Chark,
Jones
Marvin
is a
Jones,
weapon.
that's a good one too.
they're
It's
not
not-
great either.
Okay, but they're not.
neither-
No, it's not great, but it's not
Yeah.
bad.
They're
It's
not going to
like-
win a Super Bowl this year. No one's
No,
expecting
no.
them to, but
They'll
those
win,
are
like,
good
5
pieces
games,
to build off of.
Yes,
Yeah,
exactly.
no. I'm not saying that like their offense is going to be like terrible, but do you think that like with those people that he's going to be putting up 350 yards a game like Justin Herbert did? I mean, it's very different. They don't have
No,
Keenan
well,
Allen.
I mean, no, they don't have Hunter Henry. They don't have Keenan Allen. They don't have they have another receiver that's pretty decent too.
I think their O-line's pretty decent.
Mike Williams.
They had Mike Williams. That's what I was referring to. And then they had Eckler and all the other running backs they ran through this year, which were good in the receiving game. No, he won't. He probably won't put up Herbert numbers. But I'm saying it's possible that I don't know.
Listen, I just don't like Jacksonville. I'm not going to lie to you. They've done me dirty.
Zach's just
okay?
butthurt because Jacksonville's
salty
really good at
about-
beating Pittsburgh.
There's always
Okay.
an emotion.
Salty
about
behind
that
every one of
2017
Zach's
AFC
takes.
champion.
Anyway, so we've talked about Zach Wilson. We've talked about Trevor Lawrence. There are other quarterbacks in this draft class. Justin
Can I
Fields.
Can I
is
jump in on
typic-
Justin Fields?
Yes, you can go ahead.
Did you
and
hear
jump
about
in on
Justin Fields?
Thank you. I personally think that he has the highest ceiling in this draft. He has more raw talent than the other guys, maybe less directly to the NFL ready, but I think over time, as he's working with NFL guys, he could get to the top of this list. I obviously agree that any team with the number 1 pick should take Trevor Lawrence. And I think Zach Wilson's going to be a big boomer bust guy. I don't know why, but he gives me Mitch Trubisky vibes. And
That's
hot take.
that's
but-
gross.
But I'm leaning toward not being big on Zach Wilson. I just don't think he's going to be that hot coming into the NFL. Maybe, he'll be okay, I think, but I'm definitely not as high on him as you guys are. Justin Fields, he's got the athleticism, beat Clemson in the playoff. He just made some really impressive plays throughout the season this past year that made me like drop my jaw, eyes wide.
Look what
When
he did
I
to
look-
us.
Yeah, no. When I look at Justin Fields, I see an extremely talented quarterback who can definitely adapt to the NFL stage. And I personally believe he has the highest ceiling in the draft class.
Well, see, so on Justin Fields, I don't know if you guys watched the Pat McAfee show, but Dan Orlovsky was on the Pat McAfee show, and they were sort of talking about, well, why is Justin Fields sort of falling on some of these boards, right? I mean, for a long time, he was consensus like him and Trevor Lawrence were like 1A, 1B, right? That was like the consensus. And now it seems that he's dipped a little bit. We're talking about these other quarterbacks potentially be taking before him. And Dan Orlovsky was saying, well, from what he's heard from like guys in the NFL that are sort of in that top 10 range, is that Justin Fields does not seem like the kind of guy who has the work ethic that you would like from an NFL quarterback. Like in his words, in Dan Orlovsky's words, what he said was he's like last one in, first one out. Like that's the kind of guy he is. When he transferred, he said that he heard that he did not care about becoming, good friends with his teammates. It was really all about doing what he had to do. And that it seems that he's more interested in being a top athlete than being a top quarterback. You know what I'm saying? So, and that is from Dan Orlovsky. You can go watch the clip.
He also later on Twitter, after the Pat McAfee show, was talking about how he talked to actual Ohio State coaches, and they were basically telling him that Justin Fields is like constantly like trying to be better. He's like in the film room all the time. He's constantly on the field trying to get extra reps in and stuff like that. So I don't know.
He was getting heat for it because everybody was thinking that was his opinion, but that's just what he was hearing, though.
That's what the
NFL teams are hearing.
Yeah. That's what they were hearing from people.
But yeah, so like when I've been looking at a lot of scouting reports on these quarterbacks, obviously. The general consensus on Justin Fields is he has a really strong arm. That's very obvious. He has a rocket. He has really good downfield accuracy as well. But his ability to sense pressure is very lacking. And that stems a lot from his tendency to stare down his first receiver.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you guys watched the Indiana game, but when he was playing Indiana, he was constantly staring down his first option and not moving through his progressions, and that led to him getting pressured. Not bueno. That's how you get sack fumbles in the NFL.
Exactly.
So
he doesn't have a good pocket presence, really.
That's obviously something that that's very fixable. You can fix those kinds of things as a coach.
And that's why I think he can convert that raw talent into, something more. And I think that's something he can definitely work on, but that's definitely his biggest thing to pick at.
He has the raw abilities that a lot of coaches like, though. The arm strength, the downfield accuracy, the athleticism. Those are the things that coaches are like, I have this raw prospect. I can turn him into this. Like that's the Josh Allen kind of mode where it's like, he's a great athlete. Can I make him, a smarter quarterback, a more accurate quarterback?
So let's look at like the top four, right? We have Lawrence, Fields, Lance, Mac Jones, and Zach Wilson. Among those five, who would you put in the category of they're going to come in right away and they can help your franchise, or maybe you would like them to take a year on the bench to sort of build?
Totally depends on where they go.
I think the best quarterback right now that's ready to go to the NFL is Trevor Lawrence. He will have the most direct impact, and then I think other guys throughout the years can definitely have even bigger impacts on the franchise as a whole.
If I was going to look at them from most NFL ready to least NFL ready, I'd say Trevor Lawrence, Zach Wilson, Mac Jones, Justin Fields, Trey Lance. No, Trey Lance is probably the biggest boomer bust quarterback in this draft class.
I like him.
Can I just run through? I have like a little tier list. Can I just run through that really fast?
Go ahead.
All right. So the biggest bust potential, in my opinion, is Mac Jones, because I just think that he's had it too easy at Alabama. He wasn't making a lot of good throws at his pro day. He was throwing, like overthrowing people, just like not really doing that well. I don't know if you saw like the camera cut to Belichick and he was like shaking his head at him.
Yep.
I think the best quarterback right now, like I just said, that could make it in the NFL and, start being productive at this moment is Trevor Lawrence. The best pro day and the biggest draft rise is Zach Wilson at the moment. Most to prove, in my opinion, is Justin Fields, just because I think like what we just said, like what we were talking about with Orlovsky, I think that he has to just prove he can fit on an NFL team or on an NFL field. And, Thomas pointed out his weaknesses and said they could be fixed easily. So, that's something.
About Trey Lance.
Okay. Well, I said my biggest question mark is Trey Lance.
Okay, good. I thought you were saying Justin Fields. Okay.
No. And then my boomer bust is Kellen Mond, because he made a really good throw in pro day. I know it's just one throw, but I know he had a decent pro day, and pro days aren't really the best thing, but like it
Then
makes me
why
think
are
of,
you
like,
judging Mac Jones for not having a great pro day?
well, I'm just saying, like, I just think that Mac Jones had everything handed to him on a silver platter.
I mean,
But okay, but Kellen Mond kind of reminds me of like a Dak Prescott, because like Dak wasn't really highly touted in his draft class. He was from Mississippi State. He went in like the 4th round, and then he came and he just tore it up. So like Kellen Mond could easily do that, or he could easily just be a bust.
And can I just say that like pretty much every quarterback that plays in these big programs pretty much has everything handed to him on a silver platter. I mean, these guys. I mean, all these guys are playing with the best players, right? Which is why like they're always on top every year.
Well, no, Alabama is always playing with the best players.
So is Clemson.
So is Clemson. So
Alabama.
is-
I'm just saying, Alabama this year ran through
Okay.
everybody.
Alabama had the Heisman winner.
Well,
right?
but while we're
Yeah, and it wasn't
slandering Mac
Mac
Jones,
Jones.
real quick,
It
I'd
was
like
Jerry,
to say
or
something,
not Jerry,
please.
It was whatever his name is,
Mac-
Devontae Smith.
Mac Jones is not the type of quarterback that's going to be slinging the ball downfield every single play. He is not a Bruce Arians type quarterback. He is much more in tune with a Kyle Shanahan type quarterback with a lot of shallow West Coast routes.
so
He
so,
fits-
so are you thinking he's going San Fran at 3?
No,
You don't think he's going? I mean, that fits their offense. So-
No,
I don't think. I think that San Francisco could. I don't think he's going top 10. I think he'd go late
Okay.
first.
I don't
but
even
I
know if
don't-
he goes first round.
I think that Mac Jones has the lowest ceiling of any of these quarterbacks in the draft, but I think he has a higher floor than Trey Lance and Justin Fields. That's
So
what
is
I'm getting at.
So what do you? So you're
I think Justin Fields has the lowest floor, but maybe that's just me.
I think
Maybe
Trey Lance has the lowest floor. Trey Lance has not played in a lot of games.
That's true, actually.
He's
And he's coming from a Division
He's-
2 school.
he's
Okay,
also
Carson
had
Wentz did that
more.
too, though.
He's also had more games in his collegiate career where he has less than 10 passing attempts than he does more than 20. He has more games in his college career where he has passed the ball less than 10 times than he has games where he passed the ball more than 20.
Oh,
Trey Lance has a tendency to notice that his first
Uh.
receiver isn't open and then just decide to take off and run.
oh,
But he, very much like Justin Fields, he
sounds
has
like-
that arm. He has the athleticism
Yeah.
to be a good quarterback. But he has not shown that, in college, he has not yet shown that, I can consistently throw the football.
so Justin
Well-
Fields and Trey Lance are essentially like the same player, except Justin Fields has actually proved himself on a football field more than Trey Lance has.
That's an oversimplification of events, but yeah.
I was just trying to simplify it more. Like
Well,
Sure.
Thomas, when you say that Trey Lance is one of those quarterbacks that looks at his first options and just tucks and run, I would say that there's a quarterback in the NFL right now that has that same mentality and has actually been pretty successful. I'll let you guys take a guess at who I'm thinking about here.
Are you
Lamar?
referring to Lamar Jackson?
Jackson.
I am, and I think that Trey Lance and Justin Fields have Lamar Jackson potential just because of their sheer athleticism and speed.
I don't.
I
think
will
they're-
say-
I don't know about that. I
Lamar in
think,
the playoffs.
If when I
though.
watch
Lamar's
Trey
a different
Lance, he
breed,
reminds me
though.
more of Trace McSorley, who is Lamar's backup.
hey, Trace
Yeah.
McSorley,
I mean,
gang.
I just, Lamar Jackson should not be compared to any other quarterback.
yeah, Lamar.
He's a
yeah,
different
bro.
breed of
Lamar
athleticism.
Jackson is probably like one of the fastest people in the. I mean, not fastest he's definitely the fastest quarterback in the NFL. But that dude he's a speed demon and he doesn't get hurt, which is pretty
Okay,
rare for.
I don't know
quarterbacks
if you
to play that
guys. Are you finished, Zach? I don't want to
Yeah.
cut you off. I'm sorry.
Okay,
Okay, I
fine.
don't know if you guys saw, but Lamar didn't have he didn't run the 40 on his pro day or whatever. But when he got to the Ravens, or it was either when he got to the Ravens or his junior year, he did like a junior pro day. He ran a 4.32 with turf toe.
Yeah, that's pretty fast.
Wow.
So like,
I mean, have you seen the way he makes people look? So,
Yeah.
like the way he turns grown men in the open field into children with no ankles. I mean, that's just that should tell you everything you need to know. So I wouldn't quite compare those two guys to him.
they have like,
Oh,
no,
they're
I don't
at-
think.
they're
Alex was
athletic.
I think Alex was just saying like they have the potential to end up like that. Like, but once again, Lamar's kind of like on his own planet. But
Yeah,
like,
see, that's what I'm saying. But the thing that makes, I mean, and I don't want to go off on too long of a tangent here, but Lamar is so otherworldly when he runs that like that's what allows him to be able to like look at one read because he only has one read with the Ravens anyway, and then shoot off and to do whatever he's going to do. Like, I mean, because it's so instantaneous from him being like, no, bang, 10 yards. I mean,
I feel like a lot of the play design probably too for the Ravens is like if your first read's not there, then just take it yourself. Like they
I mean,
probably don't care. Like
Listen, they have some of the best run schemes that you'll
Yeah.
find. So I
Yeah.
mean,
for sure.
Before we move on from quarterbacks, I just
We're
want to throw
not
two more
done yet,
names out
Carter.
there. Good. Okay, good. I just want to throw two more names out there. Peyton Ramsey and Ian Book. I grew up as a fan of both Northwestern and Notre Dame, and I kind of keep tabs on both teams still. And over the years, I've seen both of these guys make some good plays. So they're obviously way lower than the guys we've been talking about in terms of quarterback rankings. They'll go later rounds probably, but I think they could surprise some people and maybe become a starter in a few years.
I like Ian Book. I don't know about Peyton Ramsey's quite as much, but I think Ian Book's pretty, like, he's a decent athlete, good thrower of the football. I mean, I don't know. I haven't seen a lot of Notre Dame games because
I know this is a terrible way to judge quarterbacks, but like I tend to judge them based on how Hall of Fame worthy their name sounds. Like, could you see that name in the Hall of Fame one day? And I don't hear either of those names in
Ian
the
Book.
halls.
I definitely
Ian
feel
Book
like
is
you
pretty
could.
sweet
No.
name.
Ian Book is a dope name.
No,
Like
you would not see
Ian-
Ian Book in the Hall of Fame. That's not going to happen.
you know what name you would see in the Hall of Fame?
Trevor Lawrence.
Sam Ellinger.
no, you wouldn't. Sam Ellinger might go undrafted. I'm not
Joe
gonna lie.
Flacco.
No,
Yeah, Brian Fitzpatrick. That's a Hall
Little
of Fame name.
preview.
that Ryan. No, instead of Fitzpatrick, if Ryan Fitzpatrick gets into the Hall of Fame, they should
He
just put
can't.
they
He's
should
not
put
eligible
Fitzmagic.
for at all. You have to make a Pro Bowl at least, and he has not made a Pro Bowl.
This is his year.
Well,
This is-
He'll always be
he's
in the
gonna
Hall
make
of
the
Fame
Pro
in my
Bowl this
heart, but
year.
he can't. He's probably not going to make a Pro Bowl.
F word.
We can change the rules for that guy.
What
He's-
kind of
he-
criteria is that? You have to make the Pro Bowl to make.
That's
the
a
Hall of
fan
Fame?
thing. That's a fan
I don't
thing.
know.
That's-
Don't
that
ask
sounds,
me.
That
You
sounds like
basically
a,
have to win a popularity contest.
that
to
sounds like
be
a
one-
scam in my opinion.
Yeah.
I think we
I
should
don't
bring
make
this-
the rules.
I say he should take this to the Supreme Court. Really get to the bottom of this. I think this is unfair. He should
Yeah,
be in there.
yeah.
I think he should just be the one-time
Zach.
exception.
Supreme Court.
To be honest,
I'm
he's
gonna-
so legendary.
Next podcast, I'm going to show up in my Ryan Fitzpatrick jersey.
Could you imagine Ryan Fitzmagic's bust with that beard? I mean, that alone.
I think
that
it'll need
must-
its own
Oh my
row.
That's a lot
in
of
the-
copper.
And we'll take it the sunglasses he wore when he stole
Ah,
Sean Watson's
No,
outfit.
they should just do like a
Oh, the chest
torso
hair,
one with
too.
his chest hair. Yeah, like they got to get the full thing in there. Like
Him standing at that podium is one of my favorite NFL pictures ever.
if
Literally.
if
The
he doesn't
Hall-
get in as a player, they should just put that moment in the Hall of Fame of him
They-
all like
They
just
should
Just
they should
have the
they-
outfit in the Hall of Fame. yeah.
They should
Exactly,
just
yeah.
rename. They should really just rename it Fitzpatrick Hall at this point. I mean, I think that's where we're getting at. here, you know?
Okay, well, that might be a stretch.
Okay, before we go too far down that rabbit hole, I have another quarterback I wanted to talk about real quick. Kyle Trask has been getting some round 2 talk out of Florida. I don't like him.
Yeah, me neither. Let's not talk.
He
about
reminds
Why
me of
not?
Nick. He
Zach, can you see
reminds
his
me
name
a
in the Hall of
lot of
Fame?
Nick Foles.
No. it. The dude's name,
Not in the
dude's-
good way.
His name is pretty much trash. That's not Hall of Fame or
Like- He's not athletic. He doesn't have a very strong arm. He's okay with his accuracy, but he has a tendency to just throw some of the most ridiculous passes. Like,
then
you
why
know
are
how
we
Nick
talking
Foles got
about
picked
it?
off like 3 times, and because he's getting round 2 talk. I want to talk about quarterbacks.
well, what about that whole thing with Mac Jones not having a big arm and you can fit in a West Coast scheme? Like why can't
Well,
Kyle Trask fit? In a
Would
West
you
Coast
rather
scheme?
have Nick Foles in a West Coast scheme or Jimmy Garoppolo in a West Coast scheme?
Jimmy Garoppolo?
There's a difference between Nick Foles and Jimmy Garoppolo.
One has a Super Bowl and one doesn't.
Are you saying that?
One's
I'm
Does
saying that
Garoppolo,
Mac
Jimmy
Jones is more in line
Garoppolo?
with. I'm saying Mac Jones is more in line with Jimmy Garoppolo.
Listen, porn star Jimmy's about to lose his job to Zach Wilson this year, so let's not. I mean, who cares about that guy anyway?
But anyway, so talking about Kyle Trask, he has a tendency to throw a lot of really weird balls into double coverage. I don't know why he's getting round 2 hype when there are quarterbacks that have much more talent than him.
I'm
But
not
yeah,
listen. In all
Kyle
seriousness,
Trask talk.
in all seriousness, that's because I believe that Lawrence, Fields, Zach Wilson, and Mac Jones are all going to be gone in the first round. That's my prediction.
The talent really drops off after.
Yeah,
after
I
that.
really believe that they will all be gone. I think 3 will be gone in the top 10. So I mean,
I think they're all top 32. They're all going to be first round quarterbacks.
Yeah.
So you're pretty much just picking from the worst of the best, or the best of the
So
worst.
and what? So what? You might have a chance at Trey Lance in the second round. So I mean, someone's going to need a quarterback still. So I mean, who knows?
Yeah, I mean Trask. I think round 2 is too high for him, but he did throw for over 400 yards, 3 passing touchdowns, and 2 rushing touchdowns against Alabama in the SEC championship. So that's
Tim
nothing to
Tebow also
sneeze
put up
at.
some pretty good passing
Hey,
numbers.
and
when he
Tim
was
You
a
Tebow
quarterback.
had
you better
some
put some
moments in the
respect on
NFL.
Tim Tebow's name right now.
Tim Tebow's
I
not
mean-
an NFL quarterback. Neither is Kyle
Hey,
Trask.
I will
Tim
never forget
Tebow
watching him
Florida?
against the Steelers in that.
Yeah, but
wild
say
card.
the
I'm
Steelers,
just-
Yeah.
the Steelers might just take him in the second round. I'm not
80
gonna lie to you.
yards to Demarius Thomas.
I'm
In all
just
fairness,
saying.
Carter.
Love to see it.
In all fairness, Carter, that SEC championship game is good for at least 1,000 yards of offense between the two teams. So,
But it was
there's
still
that.
Alabama. It's still Alabama.
Yeah.
All right,
Any-
but also
any other quarterbacks?
Also, Ole Miss kind of ran it up on Alabama this past year too. So
Any other quarterbacks we want to talk about?
Joe
No.
Flacco. Okay,
Joe-
okay.
Well, he did sign with the Eagles. Did we already talk about that last week? I think we
I think
might.
we
Let's
mentioned
talk
it.
about it.
yeah, we definitely did because I hate Joe Flacco, and I remember you guys bringing it up.
That's what the fans live for. They live for the Joe Flacco talk. We need to stop
Always.
bringing up Ryan Fitzpatrick
University of
and Joe
Delaware,
Flacco
baby.
every single episode. People are gonna get so tired of that.
University of
We
Delaware,
need to have
baby.
a set. We need to have the weekly Joe Flacco and Ryan Fitzpatrick check-in segment every
Yeah.
week.
Gotta check in
Listen-
on how they're doing.
Listen, we
How's
don't have
Joe
much,
feeling?
we don't have much time with these legends. Honestly, I think we should contact one and see if they'll come on the podcast.
Guys,
That's all
I
I'm
have
saying.
I have a
Not a bad
verbal
idea.
I have a verbal meme to reference here. It's like every time our listeners listen to us talk about Joe Flacco and Ryan Fitzpatrick, it's like the GTA meme where it's like, here we go again.
Thank you for automatically bleeping yourself. I appreciate
Listen,
it.
all I'm saying is that Joe Flacco went to the University of Delaware. I got some connections. We can get that guy on. We can have him and Tyler talk about why he doesn't like him. Maybe we can work some things out.
I'll just tell it straight to his face. He's not an elite quarterback anymore.
I'll have you know, my teacher in high school signed him up for a bank account at the University of Delaware Bank.
Wow.
Zach, is Joe
Connections.
Flacco a name that you can see in the Hall of Fame?
No,
Oh,
no. Brian Fitzmagic, yes. Joe Flacco, no.
okay.
Joe
let's say
Flacco
that-
is also
Let's
not
say
made a
that
Pro
there's
Bowl,
a
but
quarterback.
He's made a Super Bowl, so that's all that matters.
Anyone who played for the Ravens does not belong in the Hall of Fame unless his
Yeah.
name is Ray Lewis.
Okay, that's a little bias right there. But let's
Ed
say
Reed?
that there's.
Oh.
Let's say that
gonna-
there's.
I was gonna say something, but I will leave it out of the podcast.
Okay.
All right,
All right,
good?
all right. We're moving on. I don't know what we're talking about anymore. We were supposed to talk about quarterbacks getting drafted, not Joe
So
Flacco.
we're talking about the
okay?
topics that matter,
All right.
Thomas. The topics
Other-
that matter.
In
People
other
want-
NFL news, the Miami Dolphins have been wheeling and dealing in the draft pick trade market. They traded down from 3 with the 49ers to 12, added a couple first round draft picks in addition to that. Then they traded up to 6 with the Eagles. What's going on? Is San Francisco going to draft a quarterback? Is Miami going to draft a quarterback?
I think
I
what
don't
we're looking.
know. I am
I
confused.
think what we're looking at. Well, let's just sort of read it all out. I think that San Francisco's probably ready to move on from Jimmy G. I think it's. I think he's sort of shown that maybe he's not. The guy who's going to lead you to a championship. They just need a little bit more.
Well,
With
not
that defense.
single-handedly, no.
Yeah. So I mean, but they have a good defense still. They traded a few pieces away. I think someone else might have left. I'm not exactly sure. And then they have some solid weapons and a great run game. So I mean, really all they need is that quarterback who's ready to take them to the next level. And I think maybe they've conceded that Jimmy G isn't that guy. So it's very interesting that they moved up to 3. That's obviously a move to make if you're taking a quarterback. I mean, there's pretty much nobody else that they need that's worth going up that high, right? So I imagine that they will take Zach Wilson. I think that's the way it's going to go.
Zach Wilson's going to be gone.
At 3?
He's going to go 2 to the Jets.
You think it really?
Yeah.
Okay, I don't think so.
I think
I mean,
so.
I wouldn't have predicted
is-
that, but maybe. I predicted he was going to go to 3, and then I would probably have guessed that the Jets would have still gone with Fields, even though I like Zach Wilson more.
I guess we'll see.
mean, the thing with Jimmy G is like, one, we witnessed him not be able to get him over the hump when they played Kansas City, and then 2, the dude can't stay healthy to save his life. So like, they might as well just move on from him. Like,
Yeah.
In
So, I
recent
mean-
years, the 49ers can't stay healthy to save
So-
them.
that's
so-
true. Like
They've
last
been
year, they were
struck
just
by
a-
injuries
yeah.
so many times.
So I mean, So let's say Zach Wilson goes 2, that's fine. I imagine that maybe at 12 they weren't ultra confident that they would be able to get one of these top flight guys that are coming out, and that they decided to be aggressive and then move up. As for the Dolphins, it almost seems like maybe they're not entirely sure they're ready to move on from Tua. So like, well, let's move back to 12, and they probably already made the call to Philadelphia saying, "Hey, would you be willing to move back?" Because Philadelphia doesn't need a quarterback, and I mean,
They
who
have so
knows?
many holes that they need as many draft picks as they can get anyways.
Yeah.
So
Well, I mean, and the Dolphins, I mean, they've just been doing this thing where they're racking up picks. I mean, they already have a nice foundation there. So let's rack up some picks, and as long as they hit on these guys, I mean, it's going to be a great move. And whether or not they decide, I don't know what their plan is at 6, because what confuses me is what player are they targeting? If they want to get rid of Tua, then a higher pick would obviously mean more
I
because
think
they
they're
would have
going
more.
for best available.
Receiver. I think
I
they're
think
going
they
They're
to
should
either
take Kyle
they're either
Pitts.
hoping that the Bengals don't take
Ooh,
that
Kyle
tackle
Pitts.
from Oregon. His name is escaping me right now.
I can't
Sewell,
remember it
Sewell or
Yeah,
something
Penei
like that.
Sewell. Penei
Penei
Sewell.
Sewell. Yep.
They're either hoping that the Bengals skip him.
Bengals are going to go with
And they take him.
Bengals are taking Pitts.
No, they got to take Penei Sewell, dude. Their offensive line is
Pitts.
garbage.
That or they're
Pitts is
going
so
for
good.
either Pitts,
Or Sewell. I mean, both of those I can respect. I can
Jamar
respect
Chase
both.
or something.
Yeah. So that's what I was actually. I mean, that might do it too. Maybe they're looking at him.
They're
thing
looking for
was-
best available though.
Yeah. So I mean, really, out of this whole situation, they move back 12, go back to 6. Really, the net here is that they come out with an extra first round pick. So I don't necessarily know if any of those. I don't think those top 3 quarterbacks are going to be available at 6. I think you'll have Lance and like maybe Mac Jones there at 6. But it seems like maybe they're going to go in a different direction. Maybe get a weapon for Tua. You know.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
so,
I really don't think that they're going to draft another quarterback after
Yeah.
just picking up
That's-
Tua. I really like Kyle Pitts, and I think if he's there at 6, the Dolphins better take him.
that's what I'm saying. It's sort of like,
Stay
they
in
would.
Florida.
There was no point in if they wanted the best available quarterback, they would have just stayed at 3. Especially if you think that guy is going to be worth it in the future. There's no need to risk moving back for an extra first round pick. So that makes me believe that they wanted to sort of increase the amount of picks they have and then get a weapon or something else. So I mean,
I agree.
honestly, either one of those decisions, or whether or not they take like an offensive lineman, I think that probably a weapon is a better option for them. It sort of makes sense what they did, and that's what I'm just so impressed by with the GM, because they're going to end up getting exactly what they wanted anyway, and an extra first round pick as a result. And I mean, it's impressive. It's impressive GMing by, and I can't pronounce his name. I know who the guy is. I just can't pronounce the name, but he has done a heck of a job. Like the Miami Dolphins are becoming so interesting as a team to watch that, I mean, I'm loving it. And for the 49ers, like I said, if they move up to 3, let's just say they get Zach Wilson or Justin Fields, or if they end up taking Mac Jones, like you said, West Coast system, that's what they do over there. He fits. They just need a guy to be a little bit better than Garoppolo, and they're Super Bowl contenders. Now, the thing that I don't honestly get, maybe I do and maybe I don't, is why would the Eagles move back to 12? I don't understand.
I was actually going to touch on that because I think that's what was going through the Dolphins' head is they were okay with being at 12, but they were probably going for like a Pitts guy who they know could definitely go early. So they were like, all right, well, let's see if the Eagles want to trade back, because the way that I see it is that the position player pool of like high talent is so deep that I think you can pick up either a good running back or a good wide receiver still at 12. So Philadelphia was like, all right, well, if you guys want to go to 6, then we'll trade with you and we'll just drop back and pick up whatever's left. Because also just a little joke
You
here,
can
but
probably pick up a good running back at 32.
yeah, exactly. But Philadelphia has been known for picking bad receivers.
Yeah,
when
they're
they have
the
early
fans.
choices.
The fans
So-
of Philly are not happy with this.
They were just like, all right, let's let these guys make the mistake, and then we'll just get whatever lands in our lap.
And then it's like a few days later, I think it's Jamar Chase has his pro day and he runs like a 4.38 with
Yeah,
a 41-inch
exactly.
vert, and the Eagles fans are just like, why would
Yeah.
you do? He was
I know.
right there. Why would you do this?
Which
Like,
hopefully Jamar Chase ends up on the
Lions.
Lions. Yes.
Yep.
Hopefully
That's-
Miami picks up Pitts and Jamar Chase falls right into our hands. We just
honestly, but
graciously
because
take
what
him in
are the Lions at 6 or 7?
Seven.
They're at
7?
yeah.
So this is the sad part though, because imagine this: Pitts could go, I think Bengals are at 5. What if Pitts goes to the Bengals? Jamar Chase ends up going 6 to the Dolphins, and then
We
Who's
get
hard-
four? Who's
Jalen
four?
Waddle.
The Falcons are 4.
Oh yeah,
Falcons,
so
the Falcons are in play for Fields. I'm not
And
gonna
Fal-
lie.
They're
and
picking
Falcon-
a quarterback.
yeah, Falcons don't really need a
Okay,
weapon.
so we're thinking first 4 quarterback.
Yeah, I think that the first 3 are going to be quarterbacks.
Okay.
Falcons could take a quarterback. I've seen people arguing that they could take Pitts. And I'm like, they have Julio and that other dude.
They have
I
a
mean,
really deep receiving core. They got Ridley.
yeah.
They
So,
got
so I'm
Julio.
like,
Yeah.
they don't really need that. So I mean, I don't
They pick
necessarily
a tackle. They pick Sewell or Slater.
Yeah, so
That's
I
true,
mean,
they could, yeah.
so I could see that, but like as far as those, I think those weapons are going to start going 5, 6. I think 5, 6,
Well,
and
I
7
really
are
think
all weapons.
I
that are-
really think the
position
Bengals are
group
going
guys.
offensive linemen, dude. They need an O line, and they know that. Like they
Yeah,
did just
but-
lose AJ Green and everything,
but,
but
like,
I think they
well,
need O line.
But listen, but here's the thing though, is that if you're so confident, like people are saying that Kyle Pitts is the best player. I mean, we think Trevor Lawrence is going to be great, but like Kyle Pitts looks like a demon. In all seriousness, dude looks like a demon.
He
What is
might
he,
be
like,
the best
sick?
player in this draft class.
Yeah, so I mean, if you have a weapon like that to pair with Joe Burrow in a draft that is deep for the offensive line, you can always say, okay, well, let's see. We're going to be able to get offensive linemen throughout this draft, but will we be able to get a weapon like Kyle Pitts later in this draft? And the answer to that question is probably no.
Well,
So
the thing is with the Lions, I think I'm really comfortable with the Lions being at 7 because even if Jamar Chase gets picked up at 6, then we have Devontae Smith and Jalen Waddle sitting right there. For us to grab too,
I've
which
heard,
are-
I've heard that the Lions were going to go with cornerback, like they were going to target corner in this draft.
They
I mean,
definitely could. They definitely
yeah.
could go defense first round, which
And
I'm
it's-
I'm 100%
and,
okay. with.
and another reason to feel comfortable being at 7 is that because, like, I mean, think about what we're talking in these first 6 picks. We're talking all offensive players. We're talking potentially 4 quarterbacks and then a wide receiver and a tight end. Defense not even touched. So
Yep.
pretty much, it's almost like if it's all offensive talent going, you pretty much have like the number 1 overall pick for the defense for defensive players.
You have the cream of the crop of the defense still. there.
Exactly. So I mean, that's exciting also because you know it just so happens that this is a draft where a lot of the guys up at the top need quarterbacks, and so they're probably going to target quarterbacks. And maybe the defenses aren't terrible. They just have the teams that are up there seem to have had some bad luck. You know what I mean? They have quarterbacks who were hurt, or defensive players that were hurt, and so they just happen to be high in the draft.
I wouldn't even be surprised if the Lions decided to move back to like a 10 or 11 spot and just because I don't think a lot of defensive players are going to be taken even at 10 or 11. So if they try to do something and get an extra pick out of the 7, that's just an idea though.
Well,
And
That's
also,
when you'll
we're
know
kind of
that
we're kind of going off on a Lions tangent. Too,
Everyone.
So I don't wanna,
we
Yeah.
can all fit. We can all do what we do when we have our mock draft special a week before
I'm
the NFL
excited.
draft.
This is getting me
Yes,
excited.
that is going to be a fun time. So listen, everyone, come back and watch. It's going to be a good time.
It's going to be a week before the NFL draft, exactly 1 week, which is April 22nd.
And can I just say this is a rare moment because aside from Trevor Lawrence at 1, which from what I've heard is like a little iffy right now, that could be true or could be false. Who knows?
He's going.
But he's going to go 1. I'm just saying as far as the team that will be there to take him at 1 is what I mean by
It's
iffy.
going to be Jacksonville.
Yeah, I think so too.
it's going to be
But
Jacksonville.
I think so too. But I'm just saying if what I'm hearing about Trevor Lawrence is true, then I mean maybe they trade. I don't think so though.
Who
They
are
could get a
you-
haul.
who is giving you this insider info on
Listen.
on Lawrence?
Listen.
He
No,
has
no.
close contact with
Zach
Trevor
has
Lawrence's
the
mom.
plug.
Listen,
Me
Trevor
and Trevor
Lawrence's
Lawrence's mom.
Trevor
text all the
Lawrence's
time.
Trevor
They're
Lawrence's
friends.
mother.
They play
Trevor,
chess
I
together.
have text. Trevor Lawrence's mother texted me. She says, "My baby just doesn't want to go to Jacksonville." He said it's not even it's the worst city.
Dude,
in
he's
Florida.
not
Pulling a
pulling an Eli
LeVar ball.
Manning.
What is this?
He's not pulling an Eli Manning. I'll tell you that right now.
I don't. I think he'll end up in Jacksonville. I'm just saying. I don't. Maybe he's not happy to be going to Jacksonville.
And
Why?
It's not his
Florida.
choice. He's
It's
going
Florida,
there.
and he's 21
We'll
years old.
see
dude.
what happens when
Okay, yes,
it
anyway.
happens.
Let me make my
To
original point.
end-
Wait. Well, one more point, and then I'm
Oh.
done.
Fine,
I just
Zach,
want to
finish
say,
your point.
I just want to say that besides the guarantee at 1 with Trevor Lawrence, this is one of the most interesting drafts in recent years. And so I just that's all I wanted to say.
Yeah, it is. Thank
Thanks,
you.
Zach.
Appreciate
You're welcome.
it. We appreciate
Everyone's
it.
welcome.
All right, before
Thank
we
you
end
for
the
that.
show, Tyler got on my case because I told him last week we'd play another game, and I lied. We didn't. So I threw one together for this week. You're welcome, Tyler.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thomas has a propensity to lie to us, so just so everyone knows.
What?
They don't lie.
Don't slander his name like that.
Oh my gosh, I don't.
Thomas
lie
is
to
the one that gets us here and ready to do the podcast.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
All
So
right,
put
I
some respect
apologize.
on my name.
I apologize.
I throw everything together. Come on. All right, but I have a game. Hall of Fame game. How this works is I have compiled 6 players, 3 from the NBA, 3 from the NFL. I have compiled their career stats, the year they debuted, and their career accomplishments. I will not give you their name, but after me telling you their accomplishments and their stats, I want you to tell me whether or not you think that they are a Hall of Fame worthy player. And then after that, you'll try and guess who it is. And if you guys can't, I'll decide if I want to tell you or not.
All right.
Okay.
I
I'll
feel
tell
like
you.
have.
I
have
promise.
To tell.
I'll
Okay,
tell you.
All right.
I'll
You
tell
have to tell us. I was gonna say.
Are we ready to start? This is just
Yes.
Yes.
we're gonna go around the room asking you guys if you think that's a Hall of Fame worthy quarterback or not.
Okay.
Okay.
Or not quarterback, but player.
Okay.
Starting with my NBA guys. This first player is a 37-year-old who debuted in 2004. He has a career average of 11.7 points, 5 rebounds,
So obvious.
4.2 assists, and 1.5 steals. He is a 3-time NBA champion, 1-time Finals MVP, 1-time All-Star, 1-time All-Defensive First Team, and 1-time All-Defensive Second Team. Is this player a Hall of Fame worthy player?
I know who this player is.
It's a tough one.
Yeah. I don't think he's all the fan.
Okay,
I don't think he's
does
Hall of
everyone
Fame
know who
player.
it is?
Yeah.
Yes. I'm pretty
Everyone
sure.
say it at once. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Udonis
Andre
Haslem.
Iguodala.
Oh,
Did you really think it was Udonis Haslem, Zach?
He won 3.
It's not Udonis Haslem.
Listen.
It's Andre Iguodala.
Okay. Okay. Then yes, he is Hall of Fame.
I think Iggy barely slides in there. I think the Finals MVP does him a good one. I think the 3 chips help him a lot. And I think we all know how good of a player he was in Philadelphia. I think he just, I don't know. I think he barely slides in to the Hall of Fame.
I thought this was about people that are in the Hall of Fame,
No.
not people we think
No,
are
no,
going
no.
to be.
No,
Do you think they deserve to be in there? Come on, get with the program,
Oh.
Alex.
Okay.
that's why we're not supposed to know their name. We're supposed to go based purely.
Oh
off
wait,
statistics.
Udonis Haslem was 2003. That's why I got confused.
He also didn't win
Oh,
Finals
so-
MVP, Zach.
honest
I'm not gonna lie
mistake.
to you.
Yeah, it happens to the
It's
best
okay.
of us.
Now that we're all on board, we got 5 more to work with. But anyways, yeah, Andre Iguodala. He's on the fence there.
I also believe he barely slides
I
in
think-
because
yeah.
of the Finals MVP.
I
Without
think
it,
he's a push. I think he gets in.
yeah,
Yeah.
I personally believe Steph Curry deserved that 2015 Finals MVP. Not
Yeah.
Iguodala, because LeBron still put up
Yeah,
insane numbers
obviously.
that series, and people said that the reason he won it was because he locked up LeBron, which I didn't think was very true.
Still in the history books,
but
though.
it's
So
still in the history book, so I think he gets in because of it.
Can I
Yes,
say
Alex.
one thing? Fate of the universe on the line. Death beam pointed at planet Earth. Who are we taking, guys?
Iguodala.
I'm taking Iguodala.
oh my god! But also, I want to add that I think that the NBA is the easiest Hall. I know we've personally talked about this
Well,
before. The NBA
yeah.
is the easiest Hall of Fame to get into.
By far.
So we can still discuss it, Tyler.
No, yeah, for sure. I wasn't saying we can't. I'm just
Gosh.
saying in general.
I'm trying to have
All
some
right,
fun.
next player.
Next player. This 35-year-old player debuted in the year 2006. He has played for 8 different NBA teams. He is a 2-time NBA champion, 4-time All-Star, 1-time All-NBA third-team member, 2-time All-Defensive first team, 2-time All-Defensive second team, 1-time steals leader. For his career, he averages 10 points, 4.7 rebounds, and 8.1 assists.
I know who
How
it
many
is.
chips?
Is he still in the league?
Sure,
How
Is
many
he?
chips?
he has 2.
I know who it is.
I feel like it's no.
It's
these
Tiago
other guys.
Splitter, ain't it?
Tiago
you're
Splitter.
so
has
close.
8
You're
assists
so
per
close.
game.
Tiago Splitter's in the Hall of Fame in my heart as well. He has the best name, so he
Can
also.
Can I
belongs.
guess who it is?
Sure.
Rajon Rondo.
Yes, it is Rondo.
Oh.
But
Let's
Rondo-
go.
Rondo gets in
Yeah,
my opinion.
I don't know.
He's in.
He's in there like
Yeah.
swimwear.
When I
he's in.
think of Rondo, though, I'm not even thinking about Celtics Rondo anymore. All I can think about is the Rondo that gave
Yeah,
up on the Mavs
okay,
and the
so-
Pelicans
So
and
don't
the
have
Hawks.
recency bias.
or
though,
the
because you
Rondo
gotta-
that just helped the Lakers win
I'm
a
not. It's
championship.
not recency
the Rondo
bias.
that
It's
matters is
career
the
bias.
is Boston Rondo.
But it's his entire career. And when you have, I don't
Well,
like guys that give
yeah,
up on their
that's-
teams,
That's
man.
fair.
He
That's
gave
fair.
up on the Mavericks.
Nobody
gave
nobody
up on the
ca-
Kings, he
they
gave
don't.
up on
They
the
don't.
Pelicans, he
They're
gave
not
up on
going
the
to think about
Hawks.
that stuff when it's time to
That's
vote.
no, but
I
that's
will.
a valid point. Though.
I will, Zach.
It's
this
not
is
gonna
about
happen.
us, not them.
Listen
'Cause
now.
I think
10
when the
points a
NBA
game.
when the NBA Hall of Fame is the easiest to get into, Rajon Rondo makes
Okay,
that.
Yeah.
this is my case for Rondo. Not that he was ever a scorer or anything, but he's just a great passer. He's always been. He's one of the
That's his
best.
thing.
One
He's
of the
no
best
Chris
passers
Paul,
to
but,
ever enter the league.
My-
No,
my-
but I'm saying
defender.
statistically, he's one of the best passers. Like,
Let's say my argument.
like
for,
assists wise, right? Isn't he?
My argument for Rondo is that, like,
fine.
okay, you can say
Yeah,
that he
he's
gave up
good.
on certain. You can say that he gave up on certain teams, but the dude does help create winning cultures, and he did. Not
Yeah.
only did he win championships early in his career with the Celtics, he was a major part of the Lakers winning this year.
Yeah,
So, or technically last year, but you know what I mean.
Yes,
So-
he's probably gonna go get in.
he's no Chris
He
Paul. though,
will
you're
never
right.
be in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, no, he's not Chris Paul. That's not.
He
get
has
crazy.
he has a Chris Paul vibe, but he's not. He's nothing.
We're
Well,
not.
But his
Tyler,
passing is up there with Chris Paul.
I will
I
mute
think
you,
he ties
Tyler.
in.
No,
I will mute
no.
you too,
I
Carter.
said he's
I'll mute
nothing
both
like
of
Chris
you.
Paul, but he has a vibe towards him that's kind of like.
I will
I mean,
not
he
hear
does
his
have-
name
he
spoken
actually has-
anywhere near.
He
Chris
does have
Paul.
chips. Chris Paul does not have chips.
Oh,
Chris Paul never played for a team as good as Boston.
Saying he don't. He just saying he don't got chips.
I don't know about that. Clippers with Blake
With
Griffin
injured
and
Blake
DeAndre
Griffin?
Jordan were kind of nasty.
They were never
Oh,
healthy
Yeah,
in the
they
playoffs.
choked.
Jamal
Anyways, can we?
Crawford.
I got four other guys to
All
talk.
right, whatever. Go ahead.
Come on. All right. I really want to stump you guys with one of these guys. You guys, come on. All right. So this player is 31 years of age. I also only chose guys that are over 30 for this.
Okay.
This is NBA.
Yeah, NBA still. Last NBA player I have. He averages 17.2 points per game, 5.2 rebounds, and 3.9 assists for his career. He is a 5-time All-Star, 3-time All-NBA third team, 4-time All-Defensive second team. There are a couple of other, I think Carter might know who this is already.
I have a guess. I just have a guess.
He was also a most improved player.
Oh,
Ooh.
Um,
never
and
mind.
he has played for
He's-
4 teams, and he debuted in 2012.
Hey,
thought
what
it was
I know who
Draymond,
this
but
is.
it's not.
What happened in 2012?
Can I? Okay.
That was his first year, is 2012.
Did he play for the Pistons?
No.
Off.
He's
Wait.
31 and okay, that made in this.
Maybe he played for the Bulls because he pointed at Carter pretty quick when he said, "I think Carter might already know." who
No,
this
because
guy
I
is."
was nodding. I thought it was Draymond at first, but
No, he's not most improved.
Is it Draymond?
It could
not
be
Draymond.
Draymond.
It can't be.
Not
You're
Draymond.
right.
Nah.
Before,
Okay, it
before
couldn't
wait,
be. I
can we
forgot.
play the game the way it was supposed to be? Before you guys figure out who it is that a
Oh,
Hall of
okay.
Fame career?
Yeah.
Uh,
Well,
No,
Mm,
yes. Yes.
No.
I
you know chips, right? You said no chips.
He does not have a championship yet.
Yeah, I'm
He's
sorry.
still in the
you're
league
not,
though.
You
he
can't. Get,
averages.
He's
He
31.
averages 17.
you can't. Not even like a. Doesn't
He's
have like
in,
an MVP
in
or
these
anything.
years.
Most
He's
improved player?
averaging closer to 20.
What
He's in
year
the, he's in the
was-
20s now.
Victor Oladipo.
What year was the most improved player?
2015.
That's actually a good guess. I feel like Zach.
It's not Victor Oladipo.
Okay.
Because
Um,
he's around there.
Not
somewhere.
Victor Home Depot.
Home Depot.
What 3 all? Okay. Can you go through his accolades again?
He is a 5-time All-Star, 3-time All-NBA third team, 4-time All-NBA defensive second team, and the 2015 most improved player.
I think he definitely could get in. I
No,
think
I
he
don't.
definitely could
But I
get in.
don't. No, I don't think he's getting in.
At the moment, no, but he's only 31. So
Correct.
I'm just gonna say that if he's averaging in the 20s now, I'm gonna say he will eventually, but those accolades don't get him in.
All right, are you ready to
I
figure
don't
out who it
know.
is?
I just think it's because I think like he gets all defensive second team and he gets all NBA third team. I think that means I don't know. I'm gonna say, well, yeah, okay. I'm gonna agree with Carter. I'm
I'd
gonna
say
say the exact
yes.
same Carter said.
Personally, I'd say yes. All right, do you want to guess who he is, or do you want me to give you a hint?
Hint.
And
All right, he was the 30th overall pick.
That doesn't fucking help.
oh, Jimmy
Yep.
Jimmy Butler.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, Jimmy
that-
Butler.
Does that change anyone's opinion, or is
Nah,
still
not-
He's definitely
not
Hall of
sticking with it?
Fame.
Same
Definitely
thing
Hall
for
of
me.
Fame.
Same
Definitely
thing
Hall
for
of
me.
Fame.
He will be, but not his accolades don't.
No,
have it
not
yet,
off
but
those
he will
stats
be.
right there, but he will be. Yeah, that's
Yes,
what I'm saying.
maybe eventually, not right now. Like, if
Jimmy
he
Butler
retire-
will win. He will win a championship before he retires.
I say if Jimmy Buckets retired today, I don't think he'd make it. But like a few more years, I'd definitely see it.
Yeah, we'll see.
All right. So now I've got 3 NFL players. I tried my best to not get all the same position. I forced myself to pick a defensive player. So we'll see how this
Ballsy.
goes.
Okay.
Force yourself.
This first player is a running back.
Okay.
Okay.
He is 32.
Okay.
He has a career 11,102
Oh.
rushing yards, 73 rushing touchdowns, 3,893 receiving yards, and 16 receiving touchdowns. His rookie season was in 2009. He has played for 4 different teams. He's a 2-time Super Bowl champion, 6-time Pro Bowler, 2-time first team All Pro, and the 2013 rushing yards leader and 2010 rushing touchdowns leader.
How old is he?
He's 32.
Is he actively on an NFL roster?
Currently, no.
Oh.
Is it? Oh, what is his name? I can't think of his name. Bowling
No,
ball boy.
don't guess. We're
Okay,
trying to
alright.
we're trying
No,
to say if he
yeah.
goes in the Hall of Fame or not. I was gonna
Um,
say since he's 32, if he was still on a team that he could definitely get in eventually, but I don't think he's done enough to get into that.
I mean, you said
NFL
11.
Hall
You
of
said
Fame.
you said 11,000 yards. He led the league 1 year, and he has 2 Super Bowls
Yes.
as a starter. 2 Super Bowls as a starting running back.
No.
He
No.
did have a. He
All
did
right,
have a-
Oh, wasn't a starter. Okay.
He wasn't a starter during the Super Bowls.
But 11,000 yards, led the league 1 year in touchdowns and 2 Super Bowls. I think
I know.
that's,
I
He
know.
also
who
led
it
the
is. Or
league
no.
in rushing yards.
Oh,
when he
No,
was-
I know who it is. I know who it
yep,
is.
I know who it
I know
is
who
too.
it is.
the person I
And yes,
pers-
he gets in the Hall of Fame.
the person I'm thinking of. I can't guess his name. Like I'm thinking of him in my head.
Are
but
you
I
thinking
can't-
of LeGarrette Blunt, Zach?
No,
That's who
good,
I
'cause
thought
it's
of
not
at
him.
first,
It's
but I
not
knew
him.
it wasn't him.
It's not him.
Blunt's 3-time, right? Isn't he?
He's got a. Okay, he's got a dope.
Do you want to
nickname.
get? Do you want to
right?
guess?
Yeah,
Yeah,
is
he's
it-
got a
is
dope.
it-
Yep.
Is it Shady
Marshawn.
McCoy?
It is Shady McCoy.
Oh, I was gonna say, damn.
It is LaShawn. Yeah, LaShawn McCoy. I mean, I think he's Hall of Famer.
I would. So now that I know it's LaShawn McCoy, I'd put him in. The
Oh,
Hall of
but
Fame,
before you
100%.
knew that,
But
you
that's
didn't
the point
think
of the
so.
game. That's the point of the game.
Yeah.
You're not
Interesting.
supposed to do
Right.
it.
Interesting.
I'm not sure if Shady gets in, man. I don't know.
It's borderline.
Dude, come on,
Yeah,
it's
I
Shady
don't-
McCoy.
He's a push. I think
I
he's
don't
not
know.
first ballot, but I
No,
think he'll get in
no,
a couple.
no,
I think
no,
guys-
no.
I think you guys got to remember how much. Like I don't even. What is it, Ocho Cinco not still in the Hall of Fame? I mean, come on. It's like.
Ocho Cinco doesn't really have a ton of like big stats though. Like,
Okay.
I'm gonna
Doesn't
go
have many
no on
accolades.
Shady.
okay,
I'm
well,
gonna say
I'm
no.
Yeah, I'm
still,
gonna say no.
I'm still kind of on the fence about him. I don't know.
Moving
Next player.
on,
Don't get me wrong. He's part of our childhoods, but just I don't know.
we got 2 players left. 2 players. This is a quarterback, a 36-year-old quarterback.
Oh yeah.
He has a career completion percentage of 61.7. He
Oh,
has 40,931 passing yards, 224 passing touchdowns, 144 interceptions.
Is this who I think it is?
A 98-77 record as a starter.
I think I know.
His
who this
rookie
is.
season was in 2008.
Yeah.
He has played for 4 different teams. He is a 1-time Super Bowl champion and a 1-time Super Bowl MVP.
Yeah.
Is he Hall of Fame?
Wow. Wow.
Is he Hall of Fame?
Yes.
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 Yes. Is that Joe?
Yes.
Is it? Is it?
It's Joe Flacco.
It's Joe Flacco.
No, it's not. No.
Yes.
I thought it was someone else. That's why I said yes.
Who do
No.
you think it was?
No, but
I
that's
don't
the
know.
game. That's the game, Tyler.
that's the
You
No,
said yes.
no.
Who did you think it was?
I don't know.
I came really close to choosing Jay Cutler instead of Joe Flacco, but I decided I wanted to hurt Tyler's
Jay
feelings
Cutler,
more than I wanted to
no.
hurt
Jay Cutler does not belong
Carter's.
in the Hall of Fame.
Tyler heard.
Tyler, you got punked.
Tyler
You got
heard
punked.
Super Bowl MVP, and he was like, "You know what? That sounds like a Hall of Famer. Look at that winner
Tyler got caught in
percentage."
4K.
I thought Nick Foles was 36-year-old.
Oh my
I thought it
God,
was Nick
4K,
Foles
oh
for
my
real,
God.
but
Oh my gosh.
I feel like that's more embarrassing than saying Joe Flacco should get in the Super Bowl. Or
I'm
not?
not
He
gonna
did
lie.
get in the Super Bowl.
Listen, I knew
And
I
why?
had,
And MVP.
I had a
Getaway.
feeling that was like before you said Super Bowl winner and MVP.
I
I
didn't
was
know
at-
Joe Flacco won the Super Bowl MVP. So
Yeah, I was on
He
the
won a
Fitzmagic
truck.
train.
That was
Yeah,
like
he
his
won-
big
a
mic'd up
truck.
moment of the Super Bowl was him saying, "I get a truck."
I didn't know.
He
that.
won a Toyota.
The
I
question
think.
is, did he go to Disney World?
Probably.
Maybe,
Hmm,
possibly. I don't know.
I would say so. Next player.
Yeah, next
Yeah,
player.
move on. I'm done with this.
I thought that was the last player.
While this joke is still stale, let's move on.
No, this is the defensive player.
Yes, this is
Oh,
my
okay.
one defensive player that I forced myself to put in here.
Okay.
All right, he is a 33-year-old safety. He has a career 28 interceptions, 840 tackles. He has started all 16 games in his 11. He has started all 16 games in 8 out of his 11 seasons. He has never started less than 14 games in those 11 seasons.
Is he currently on active roster?
Yes, I'm not done
How
yet.
old is he?
Okay,
Not
no,
done
I'm
yet.
sorry.
He's
I know,
33.
Go ahead.
He is a 3-time Super Bowl champion, a 2-time Pro Bowler, and a 3-time All-Pro second team.
Not Chungus, is it?
I know who it is.
I thought it
No,
was Richard
no,
Sherman, but it's not.
No, I think no, because it's a safety. I think I
It's
know
a
who it
safety.
is.
He used to play corner, but he got moved to safety.
Oh,
Ooh.
If that
I still might
helps.
know it. I still might know it actually.
But first, you got to tell me: is he?
Wait,
he a
how
Hall of
many?
Fame or
No,
not?
how many teams has he played for?
One.
I know
One?
who it is.
One.
Yes, he is.
Oh.
Yeah,
Is he a Hall of
Yeah.
Famer?
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Is it? Can I guess who it is?
Oh, I need Alex's answer. Is he a Hall of Fame or not?
Yeah, he is, but I
Okay.
don't know who it is anymore.
All right,
Is it-
everyone,
is it-
everyone, take your guess. If you need
Can I
hints,
guess?
Is it Chungus?
No,
No,
is
it's
it
not.
Devin? Is it Devin McCourty?
yeah.
It is McCoy.
Oh, okay.
It's Devin
I was
McCourty.
between one of the McCourty, and
Yeah.
I was between him and Patrick.
Who did you
Chung.
think it was at
When you
first?
said Pat Chung, I was like, okay, that could be, but I definitely think it's McCourty.
As soon as he said 3 Super Bowls, I was like, I think the only dude who's won that many,
The
like, would
corner,
have been.
the corner
been the
thing helped me
Patriots.
because Jason McCourty's a corner too. So I was like, all
Yeah,
right, the
Devin-
McCourty twins were both.
Devin
corners at
started
one
his
point.
career as a corner, and then he.
Yeah, I was because I don't know the difference between the two of them, so I was like, I don't want to guess one, and then so
They're essentially the same player.
yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Pat Chung and Devin McCourty are like the same.
Wait,
player.
wait. Are you okay?
I'm just saying, no, they're not this. Like they're not the same. But I'm just
Hey,
saying,
hey,
like,
well,
it's
Chungus
easy
is
to mix
retired.
up.
Chungus is retired now. But I'm
Yeah, he just.
I thought you
retired.
guys were talking about not knowing the difference between Devin and Jason McCourty, not Patrick.
Oh.
and
Oh no, those two. Oh, those two. I in my head, I was like, I don't know the difference between the two of them, but probably one of them changed. But
Oh
no,
my gosh.
I
But yeah,
said, well, I was like, it was a McCourty brother or Chungus.
Yeah.
Is what was in my head.
I was gonna say Malcolm Jenkins until he said one NFL team.
Same.
Yeah.
Yeah. One NFL team.
3 Super Bowls and 1 NFL team makes it pretty obvious that
Yeah,
it's,
it's a Patriots
Patriot,
player.
yeah.
Yeah. That's why, and I used to be. I've always been a big Devin McCourty guy too since I've liked the Patriots. So
that
yeah.
was a fun game. Very good game.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Definitely do that again.
I really appreciate you guys participating.
I can't believe the lack of love for Udonis Haslam, but
I mean, Udonis Haslam came this close to being on there, but he has literally only has all rookie second team on his accolades, and I was just like, they're gonna say
Mhm.
no immediately. So
Yeah.
And it is a no.
yeah,
Even though
Udonis has them. Yeah,
Listen, he's just a guy that's been around for a while. You gotta love him.
but yeah, so that
you always remember his name, just not in the Hall of Fame. You know,
Yeah.
he could become a coach and get in that way.
Yeah,
You never
yeah.
know.
True.
fair.
Like I have a nice 15-year stretch somewhere. I mean,
Yeah.
that'll get you.
What if he's like an alternate on the inside the NBA desk for when like Barkley isn't there?
That would be something
Huh?
to see.
Yeah,
Him and
I-
Shaq going at it.
Yeah.
Big Shaq
once Draymond retires, it's gonna be Draymond up there.
Oh, please no.
Correct.
Oh,
No,
please no.
Draymond's actually a good like commentator.
I-
He'll
I-
be
It's
really good
Draymond
at
and
it.
D Wade and Udonis Haslam and
I-
Ernie Johnson because Ernie Johnson's eternal.
Ernie Johnson.
He is eternal.
Goated.
Yeah, like Ernie Johnson will be the first example of when they like in Futurama when they have the heads in jars still doing their jobs. It'll be just Ernie with his head floating in the jar, opening up inside the NBA every night.
Love that guy. Ernie Johnson's voice is great.
Yep.
Beautiful.
All right. Well, that is all the time we have for today's show.
What? It was over. It's over already.
I know, Zach.
Oh.
We only started
Oh,
like
we didn't talk about the Steelers for 15 minutes like last time.
That's why it seems so short.
disappointment. But yeah, that's our show.
Sad boy hours.
Be sure to like, comment, subscribe.
Smash the
Tell
like,
us-
comment, subscribe. Yeah.
Tell us what you want to hear about.
And
If you
don't
got-
forget, also click that bell. Don't forget to tell them to click the
Oh
bell.
yeah, click the bell so that you know when we upload a video because
Post notifications on.
Don't forget, Dwayne Haskins is on the Steelers.
Ah, come on, man. Why you gotta do this to me?
you know, if
You just ruined my whole night. Now I gotta go and do work, and I'm gonna be fuming and angry the whole time.
we can't get demonetized if we don't get monetized first. So you got to subscribe so we can get demonetized. You know. So yeah,
Listen,
make sure you subscribe.
we can't keep attacking Utah if you don't subscribe to us.
Exactly.
You guys can't hear any of my hot takes like the one I said about Utah. If we, like, come on, get us there at least.
Okay, we're milking this ending a little too much. Thank you everyone for watching. We appreciate each and every one of you. That's it for the Spartan Sports Podcast. Goodbye.
Peace.